Guys, today we are starting a new book in the middle of Septimus Heap. I know, it's a little something different. But today we're going to do Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life by James Patterson and Chris Tebbets. I read this book when it came out when I was like, when did it come out? I was like little. I was like 9 or something. It does not say when it came out. Oh my gosh. But yeah, this was like James Patterson's like first like kid type book. And I remember really liking it, but I cannot tell you a thing that happened in it. Like literally not one thing. So I'm very excited to delve back into it with you guys. So yeah, let's get started. This is the totally insane story of how I, Rafe Cachadorian, fought and overcame a diabolical teacher called the Dragon Lady, sold my soul to the school bully $1 at a time, wrestled with a real live bear repeatedly, fell kind of in like with the most popular girl in school, went into the soda business and went bust, and accidentally on purpose hurt all the people I care about. No running in the halls. I'm telling, oh my gosh, I love this so much. The worst days of my life were good sometimes, bad sometimes, but mostly they were hilarious. See for yourself. A perfectly pitched novel by Los Angeles Times. Dedicated to Lexi Winchester and Dr. Rebecca Vanderbogert, head of Palm Beach Day Academy. For Jonathan. Chapter 1. I'm Rafe Cachadorian, tragic hero. It feels as honest as the day is crummy that I begin this tale of total desperation well with me, my pukey sister Georgia, and Leonardo the Silent sitting in like rotting sardines in the back of a Hills Village Police Department cruiser. Now, there's a pathetic family portrait you don't want to be a part of, believe me. More on the unfortunate village police incident later. I need to work myself up to tell you that disaster story. So anyway, ta-da! Here it is, book fans, and all of you in need of AR points at school, the true autobio of my life so far. The dreaded middle school years. If you've ever been a middle schooler, you understand already. If you're not in middle school yet, you'll understand soon enough. But let's face it, understanding me, I mean really understanding me and my nutty life, isn't so easy. That's why it's hard for me to find people I can trust. The truth is, I don't know who I can trust. So mostly I don't trust anybody, except my mom, Jules. Most of the time, anyway. So let's see if I can trust you. First, some background. That's me, by the way, arriving at prison, also known as Hills Village Middle School in Jules' SUV. The picture credit goes to Leonardo the Silent. Getting back to the story, though, I do trust one other person. That would actually be Leonardo. Leo is capital C crazy and capital O off the wall, but he keeps things real. Here are some other people I don't trust as far as I can throw a truckload of pianos. There's Miss Ruthless Donatello, but you can just call her the Dragon Lady. She teaches English and she also handles my favorite subject in 6th grade, after school detention. Also, Mrs. Ida Stricker, the vice principal. Ida is pretty much in charge of every breath anybody takes at HVMS. That's Georgia, my super nosy, super obnoxious, super brat sister, whose only good quality is that she looks like Jules might have looked when she was in 4th grade. There are more on my list, and we'll get to them eventually. Or maybe not. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work out. As you can probably tell, this is my first full-length book. I'm telling. But let's stay on the subject of us for a little bit. I kind of want to, but how do I know I can trust you with all my embarrassing personal stuff? Like the police car disaster story. What do you like? Inside, what do you like? Are you basically a pretty good, pretty decent person? Says who? Says you? Says your rents? Says your sibs? Okay, in the spirit of a possible friendship between us, and this is a huge, big deal for me, here's another true confession. This is what I actually looked like when I got to school that first morning of 6th grade. We still friends, or are we still friends, or are you out of here? Aw. Hey, don't go, alright? I kinda like you. Seriously, you know how to listen at least. And believe me, I've got quite the story to tell you. Chapter 2. Alright, I'm just gonna read like a couple chapters of video. Because obviously they're pretty short. Well, I guess it depends. We'll see. The middle school / max security prison. Okay, so imagine the day your great-great-grandmother was born. Got it? Now go back another 100 years or so. And then another 100. That's about when they built Hills Village Middle School. Of course, I think it was a prison for pilgrims back then, but not too much has changed. Now it's a prison for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. I've seen enough movies that I know when you first get to prison, you basically have two choices. 1, pound the living daylights out of someone so that everyone else will think you're insane and stay out of your way. Or 2, keep your head down, try to blend in, and don't get on anyone's bad side. You've already seen what I look like, so you can probably guess which one I chose. As soon as I got to homeroom, I went straight for the back row and sat as far from the teacher's desk as possible. There was just one problem with that plan. His name was Miller. Miller the Killer, to be exact. It's impossible to stay off this kid's bad side because it's the only one he's got. But I didn't know any of that yet. Sitting in the back, huh? He said. Yeah, I told him. Are you one of those troublemakers or something? He said. I just shrugged. I don't know, not really. 'Cause this is where all the juvies sit, he said, and took a step closer. In fact, you're in my seat. I don't see your name on it, I told him, and I was just starting to think maybe that was the wrong thing to say when Miller put one of his triple XL paws around my neck and started lifting me like a 100-pound dumbbell. I usually like to keep my head attached to my body, so I went ahead and stood up like he wanted me to. What do we have here? Answer, dead meat. I like punching. Let's try that again, he said. This is my seat. Understand? I understood all right. I'd been in 6th grade for about 4.5 minutes, and I already had a fluorescent orange target on my back. So much for blending in. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a total wimp. Give me a few more chapters and I'll show you what I'm capable of. In the meantime, though, I decided to move to some other part of the room. Like maybe somewhere a little less hazardous to my health. Can you see where this is going? Oh, whoops. But then, when I went to sit down again, Miller called over. He said. That one's mine too. Can you see where this is going? By the time our homeroom teacher, Mr. Rourke, rolled in, I was just standing there wondering what it might be like to spend the next 9 months without sitting down. Rourke looked over the top of his glasses at me. Excuse me, Mr. Cachadorian, I told him. Gesundheit, someone shouted, and the entire class started laughing. Quiet, Mr. Rourke snapped as he checked his attendance book for my name. And how are you today, Rafe? He said, smiling like there were cookies on the way. Fine, thanks, I answered. Do you find our seating uncomfortable? He asked me. Not exactly, I said, because I couldn't really go into details. Then sit down now. Unlike Miller the Killer, Mr. Rourke definitely has two sides, and I'd already met both of them. Since nobody else was stupid enough to sit right in front of Miller, that was the only seat left in the room. And because I'm the world's biggest idiot sometimes, I didn't look back when I went to sit in my chair, which is why I hit the dirt as I went down, all the way down, to the floor. The good news? Given the way things had started off, I figured middle school could only get better from here. The bad news? I was wrong about the good news. This is so funny. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave this video here. Just kind of a little short one, a little teaser of the book. I hope you guys are really having fun. I like the witty writing of it. I think it's so, like, cute, you know? It's like, I don't know, like, I can actually imagine a 6th grader wrote this. So, yeah. I hope you guys are having a wonderful and safe day. I love you guys so much. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.